All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the Lady in Black. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series heads to Darlington. That's right, the Lady in Black. For 110 laps, it's race number 6 of that second season of 2021. Who's going to get the Darlington stripe? Who is going to come away with victory? There's only one way to find out, boys and girls, and that is hang out right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, it's Darlington Raceway tonight. 110 laps at the Lady in Black. This is a tough track. Tough on tires, tough on cars, tough on nerves. Who's going to come away with a victory? All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeftTV. We got a good one here for you tonight. Again, it is Darlington Raceway. Right now in the practice session, we've got about 5 minutes or so to go in the practice session before we go to qualifications. This is Darlington Raceway, 110 laps here tonight, race number 6. Just a little over halfway through the season. I'm the commentator, the broadcaster, Heath Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us. It should be a fun one. We'll take a look at the track here at Darlington. Man, this egg-shaped oval is a very interesting track, very challenging track too. Banking in the turns 1 and 2 at 25 degrees, 3 and 4 at 23 degrees. Down the front straight 3 degrees of banking, and the back straight at 2 degrees of banking. Like I said, this egg-shaped oval is very, very challenging, man. Very abrasive track, and you really got to run that high line right up by the wall. And it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be tough to pass here. It's a track that feels very, very narrow. And I think you're on the edge every single lap here at Darlington. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys tackle this egg-shaped oval here at Darlington. Thanks so much for coming in. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you want an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 packages to choose from, and also have servers available in other parts of the world if you are interested. Something a little closer to home. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Take a look at our side-by-side view, making sure that's working right. Looks like it is working just fine, so that's good news, of course. want to thank you for coming in here to the YouTube channel and checking out TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody is having a great day. It's the start of the weekend, man. You know what that means. Beer and burgers and brats. I don't know. At least somewhere, not here. Hey, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. If you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, there is a link up in the banner of this channel to make a donation straight through PayPal. And again, thanks for coming in. Share my videos with all your friends, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know how I'm doing here. Definitely pay attention to that. And we've got a lot of streams down here for you to check out. All the past live streams and a lot of playlists down there to choose from. I've got well over 500 videos now that I've done for TurnLeftTV. And enjoy each and every one of them. Also, please go down into the description of this race and click on that link and go over to the Fanatec website. Give those guys a look. If you're interested in purchasing racing equipment like a DD1 wheelbase or anything from Fanatec, please follow my link and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. And thanks to all those folks who have done so. Either visit the link or make a purchase through them. Using my link. Again, thanks so much for coming in, and we got a good race here for you tonight. Darlington Raceway is a very tough track, man. 15 drivers here joining us so far, 15 brave drivers, because I guess, like I said, this track is really tough, and it takes a lot of patience here. Got to really drive this track, and try to make passes when you can and be smart. Keep the tires on it, or keep the tires fresh, and also the fenders on the car, so you can be there at the end. Don't forget, coming out tomorrow, we got Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. It's race number 4 from that great short track, perfect for IndyCars. And we've had an exciting 3 races so far in this series, and Iowa is going to be a little bit different twist on these cars here with the short track. A little under a mile in length, 228 laps coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on TurnLeftTV. You do not want to miss it. We'll take a look at the session results. Lucas Simpson, top time in the practice session, 29.356. Colin Matiak, second. Ed Palumbo, third. Preston Hassel, fourth. Claudio Bardelli Jr., fifth in practice. Sean Jacobs, sixth. Jim Willis, seventh in practice. Reese Kennedy is eighth. Paul Brown, ninth. Ricky Emerson, 10th in the practice session. Zach Muncasey, 11th fastest time there in the practice session. Christian Wilson, 12th. Jesus Iglesias, in the 2X, 13th. Givaldo Spindola, 14th. John Stanley is 15th. Schedule here in the Buschwackers series, of course, tonight 110 laps here at Darlington. Next week, the Monster Mile, another very abrasive track. Dover International, that high bank concrete oval, very tough on tires. So that is a popular track. I personally do not like that track, but a lot of guys really like the track. I've just never been able to master Dover International. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, that flat 1 mile oval there, 98 laps on May the 21st. And then Charlotte Motor Speedway, 110 laps there on May the 28th. Las Vegas Motor Speedway to finish out the season. The Cookie Cutter, mile and a half speedway on June the 4th to crown the champion here in Season 2. Getting a few chatters here in the chat session. Emerald Wallace coming in here. Good to see Emmy out here joining us on a Friday night. J-Dog. Also, Claudio Bardelli Jr. also joining us in here. Givaldo, one of our regulars. Big fan of Givaldo. He comes in here all the time and does some chatting, watches the races. Always enjoy Givaldo, and he's one of the hardcore HORL fans. and TurnLeftTV fans. RJ Incredible is going to be rooting for Preston tonight to win this race, getting his picks in. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action on Saturday at 8 p.m. Is practice time. Qualification starts at 9 p.m. That's Kentucky Speedway, 133 laps there in the Saturday Night Thunder Cup Series. Great open setup series. Race number 3 in that series in season number 2. Kentucky, very fun track, and I'm going to be racing in this race, so if you think you can beat the broadcaster, which I don't think you can, come on out here and give it a shot. Coming up on May the 8th, the day before Mother's Day here in the United States. I'm going to be getting after it at Kentucky Speedway. Hopefully I can make it back for Mother's Day. The broadcaster's talking smack. Take a look at Christian Wilson in the 30 car. His time of 10th place time there for him. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91 car, currently 4th on the grid, 29.744 for Bardelli Jr. Lucas sent for their top time, 29.450. Take a look at Ed Palumbo in his qualification attempt here in the 54 car. 29.450 is the time to beat. Ed Palumbo with a second place qualification attempt there, so a good starting position for the 54 car. Jim Willis in the 53 with his qualification attempt. Here we go. Let's see where Jim Willis lands. 9th on the grid, 29.954. See the second lap here. Typically a slower lap here at Darlington. Tires get a little chewed up. Coming off turn 4 here, 30.154. So Jim Willis 9th on the grid with his qualification effort. Ricky Emerson with his qualification attempt right now 13th on the grid. .781 8th on the grid, bumping Zach Casey. Jim Willis down a slot. So it looks like Luca Simpfner qualifies on the pole. So congratulations to Luca. So congratulations to Luca Simpfner, our pole setter here tonight, the 21. Don't forget to surf over to ziacomics.com, your nerd headquarters. That's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. All things comic related. ziacomics.com is your nerd headquarters. Well, speaking of Luca, who got the big win last week? Oh, that's right, Luca Sinfiner. He had a little bit of lap traffic there in the way on that last little run to the finish, but got the big win. Last week at, where were we last week? Let's see, what was that? Kentucky? So congratulations to Luca on his victory last week, and let's see if he can't make it 2 in a row for that 21 car. So it looks like these guys are doing the driver's meeting right now and getting some instructions. Pitting will be going into turn 3, coming off the pits. They'll rejoin the track, coming out of turn 2 on the backstretch. And like I said, man, this track is very, very narrow in feel. You're riding right up there on the outside through turns 1 and 2, or actually through both turns, both ends of the track. It's a tough one. And the thing is really abrasive too, tough on tires. Like I said, it feels like a very narrow track, much narrower than it really is, because almost that bottom line is really kind of not in play through the turns. We'll take a look at the season standings coming into tonight. Paul Brown, we do a drop 2 races format here in the Buschwackers series for those folks that have family obligations and so forth. So Paul Brown, 126 points there on top. We got a tie for the second position. Lucas Sinfiner, Artur Vieira in second. Colin Matiak fourth. Todd Robillard is fifth. Sean Jacobs sixth. Claudio Bardelli Jr. seventh in points coming into tonight. See Jim Willis 8th, Ed Palumbo 9th, and Zach Muncasey is 10th in points coming into tonight's race. So now rolling it over to the warm-up session. So Darlington Raceway tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, the broadcaster, the commentator here at High Octane Racing League and TurnLeftTV. So just a shad under 1.4 miles in length. Darlington Raceway is a unique track. 110 laps here tonight. Very abrasive track, very tough track. What do they call this? The track too tough to tame. The Lady in Black. It's race number 6 of 10 of the season. So a little over halfway now in the season, and this one could be a huge one for points. About 6 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Go on board here with John Stanley. An idea of what it's like to get through this track here. John Stanley, see that little counter steer right now. Now he's on the bottom here. You do see that groove. It's like turns 1 and 2. They are able to get down there on the bottom somewhat. You see that drifting up the track here through 3 and 4. And now you see that car wanting to drift up there. So the later in the run this goes through 1 and 2, you're going to see those cars drifting a little bit further up the track. So 1 and 2. John Stanley there maybe thinking about making a pit stop here. Oh, boy, right there. Got to make sure you're pitting going into 3 because it is almost impossible to get that thing on pit lane. Coming out of, or between 3 and 4. Sync up our replay here and see Ricky Emerson there having a little bit of a tough way to go there, getting that out of his system. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, Iowa Speedway. 228 laps in that great short track. Just a little under a mile, just a little over 0.8 of a mile in length. And man, things are going to be fast and furious at this track tomorrow. IndyCar Series race number 4, Iowa Speedway, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live right here on TurnLeftTV. Seems like I'm getting bullied a little bit right now on the chat session here. Looking forward to hearing about all those cars Heath has painted for us. I'm looking for a painter, actually. So apply within. Fill out the application, and we'll get that approval expedited. I will warn you that the pay is not that great. You can see Will in here. Say good luck to you this weekend on finishing up your project. Well, I'll tell you what. As picks tonight, my pick to win this race is going to be. Oh, man. I picked to win this race. Who do you think it's going to be? My pick to win this race is Ricky Emerson. Just a little under 2 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Checking out the side-by-side view. How about the ugly cam? Is that working? Wait, what? How'd I get way up there? No, I'm up here. Hey. Hey, thanks for coming in tonight and joining us here on TurnLeftTV. And again, don't forget to go down in the description of this race and click on that link and go over to the Fanatec website. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Facebook, there are the addresses right there. Right there. Right. I can almost grab them. Right there. But hey, at TurnLeftTV on Twitter, at TurnLeftTV1 on Facebook, and then the Discord address for High Octane Racing League if you're interested in doing some racing. We got a lot of stuff headed your way this summer. Definitely going to have those GT3 cars back, that's for sure. And we might be trying some different stuff there along the way. So definitely give High Octane Racing League a look. There's the address at the bottom of the screen. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. Time for Darlington. All right, 110 laps here. It's race number 6. Gotta hang on tight, race the track. That's the trick here, race the track. This is going to be a tough one here, so thanks so much for coming in and joining us. Lucas Symphony starting in P1. All right, starting in P1 is Lucas Symphony in the 21 car. Ed Palumbo starts in second in the 54. Colin Maniac third. Preston Hassel starts in the 4th position. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91 starts in 5th. Sean Jacobs is 6th. Paul Brown starts in the 7th position. Ricky Emerson starts in 8th. In 9th is Zach Buncasey in the 29 car. Jim Willis in the 53 starts in the 10th position. Jesus Iglesias starts in the 11th spot. Givaldo Spindola starts in 12th. In 13th is Christian Wilson in the 30 car, and John Stanley in the 12th starts in 14th. All right, man. Here's the thing. It's about tire management here, making sure that you just race this track, try to save those tires, hope for a long run here, and make some passes.
green flag, go, go, go.
All right, here we go. Lucas Simpner leading that field down into turn one. And Palumbo up high there. Hold on to that thing, man. He slid that car up. 13 car, Colin Madiak tucks in the third position. And Palumbo in second. Lucas Simpner leading the field. He is going to be tough to beat. And Palumbo there guarding that bottom line, and we'll leave that open there a little bit for Madiak. He will take it. Stanley's already gained a couple positions. John Stanley up to the 12th position. Take a look at out of the front of John Stanley's machine, running behind Givaldo Spindol. A little work to do there, but again, patience. John Stanley, one of the most patient drivers out here right now, running in the 12th position. Drifting up the track, there's Zach Muncasey taking a peek. Take a look at Jim Willis here in the 53, right now running in the 10th position. Everybody's sort of behaving themselves right now. Jim Willis running in P10. Lucas Simpner continuing to lead out of the back of Lucas Simpner's machine. Oh, we got somebody hard in the wall. Bardelli Jr. might have made some hard contact with the wall. That 91 car looked like, man, he made some really, really hard contact. We'll take a look out of the front of Paul Brown's machine. This might have already transpired, actually. Take a look here as Bardelli Jr. Oh, he hits the wall. And then, smacking that inside wall. Tough break there for Bardelli Jr. The caution flag does not come out. Man, that was a hard lick. Take a look at out of the front of Sean Jacobs' machine. You see Bardelli Jr. right there slamming that inside wall. Man, he really came across the track fast, and now he's going to have some left side damage. There's no doubt about that. Now losing some position. Take a look at Bardelli Jr. here as Jesus Iglesias is looking to make a pass. So Bardelli Jr. is going to have to get some repairs done to that machine. That is hard contact for him. Both the right side and the left side, that car all boogered up. Take a look at Ricky Emerson here running in P5, in the 7th position in the 5 car. Kind of out there by himself right now. P2 is Ed Palumbo. He's got a little bit of company right now out of the machine, Colin Madiak machine. Preston Hassel back there in the 4th position in that 27 car. Paul Brown is in 5th. Sean Jacobs running in the 6th position. Take a look at Preston Hassel here. He's starting to put a little pressure here on Colin Madiak. Madiak just ahead in that 13 car. Preston Hassel looking pretty solid here tonight. He's looking on the low side here, see if he can't get around that honest speed shop number 13. Backs off there. Holding his cards close to the vest right now. Paul Brown back here in the 5th position. That 77 car. Sean Jacobs in the 24 is in the 7th or the 6th spot. Caution free here so far. The only incident here has been Claudio Bardelli Jr. making some contact with the wall. But take a look at this, man. Sean Jacobs really starting to peek around here in that Western Auto sponsor Camaro. Not able to pull off that pass, but he is fast. That 24 car pretty fast here tonight. Looking at the front of his machine at Paul Brown. So this been nose to tail here for this front group. Sean Jacobs starting to drift up to the high side here to see if he can't get a run coming off the turn. Paul Brown touching the apron there, scrubbing off a little bit of speed. They see that car kind of wiggling around, fishtailing a little bit. Sean Jacobs definitely fast right now, and he is pushing that 77 car. 77 up the track here a little bit. Sean Jacobs going to use this bottom line here, trying to make a pass. 24 and the 77 is side by side. 24 backs off. 24 going by. Oh, sliding up there in front of the 77. 77 gave him a lot of room. Realized that 24 was pushing him a little bit. Jim Willis here trying to make some moves. This 53 car, see Jesus Iglesias sliding up the track. Claudio Bardelli Jr. has gotten that spot back from Jesus Iglesias. The 53 now moving up to the 9th position. Jesus Iglesias now back to 10th. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola here in the 68 car. Right now, Givaldo running in the 11th position. Just behind him, John Stanley, Zach Muncasey, Christian Wilson. Both those guys having a little trouble there with that wall. Look at Spindola there going around Jesus Iglesias on the outside line. Oh, he's making some contact with the wall right there. John Stanley trying to follow him through. This is a bottleneck right now. Oh, we got a yellow flag here. We have got a yellow flag. Iglesias coming around, Christian Wilson involved, and Zach Muncasey involved. First yellow flag of the night. Iglesias, hard contact for him. He was a little bit off the pace there, and Spindola went up to the high line, tried to go around. And that got ugly. We'll kind of take a look at this a little bit earlier here. We'll take a look here as Spindola catches up to Iglesias. Now Iglesias goes down to the inside line here, but he touches the apron a little bit. And it comes off that apron, and I know Spindola got in the outside wall right here. And he's okay, but then things get a little tight right here, man. I mean, this is a bottleneck. And the 29 decides he wants to go around on the outside line, and then he comes down into the 2X car and spins him. And then all heck breaks loose right there. Take a look at this again as 2X, you see him down on that bottom line. 29 car behind him. The 29 looks like he's got a heck of a run here. It goes to the outside, and then the car kind of breaks loose on him right there, and he comes down, gets into the 2X car, and then spins the 2X. Jesus Iglesias and Christian Wilson have nowhere to go. A little ancillary contact right there. Yeah, Christian Wilson just had absolutely nowhere to go on that. He got caught up in that. We'll take a look out at the front of his machine right here. You see right there a little bit of losing the back end of that. Christian Wilson roadblock for him. And then ancillary contact right here with the 29 car. So our first caution flag of the night. Hopefully our only caution flag of the night. 21 car is the leader. So 3 cars involved in that caution flag.
Pit road will be open this time for these fast cars.
All right, pit stops underway here. Has a 21 to 54, 13, 1, 2, 3 coming down pit lane. Lucas Simpsoner leading the field to come down pit lane here. So we'll take a look at, looks like Bardelli Jr.'s had a little trouble getting in his stall here. Look at side by side here. Lucas Simpsoner, Kalamati, a couple of our young guns. Sean Jacobs, good pit stop for him. Look at that three-way battle there coming off pit lane. As Lucas Simpsoner the fastest out there, and we got a mess there for third position. So Lucas Simpsoner fastest off pit lane. Jesus Iglesias staying out there to lead a lap, and then he's going to come down pit lane. Getting his bonus points. Bardelli Jr. on pit lane, taking a pretty extended service. The 91 car, getting some repairs done to that machine. He should be good to go. And I would have it. I would imagine that Jesus Iglesias is going to make a pit stop here. Looks like he's staying out another time here, so maybe going to pit with that 1 to go. Taking service here now. I personally would pit this car a little early here and not wait that long, because if you do have an extended pit stop, you're not going to lose a lap when they go back green. Well, don't forget, coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got Iowa Speedway, race number 4 in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. That's right, man. Fast and furious, high-speed action in the IndyCars at a short track, 228 laps at Iowa. Very, very fun track. Nice wide track, and kudos out to Alex Cootie for making this track. He did a great job, and it's a very, very popular track and a very good one for IndyCars. So excited to bring you this race. Flag coverage coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeftTV. Kind of wondering here if Iglesias is going to come down pit lane. I would imagine that he is here, so it does look like he is. So Iglesias is going to make a pit stop in this 2X car. Lucas Simpsoner, the race leader. Casey coming down pit lane as well. Now he's going to start in the back of the field. Looks like Claudio Bardelli Jr. coming back down pit lane. So getting the 1 to go, and it looks like Lucas Simpsoner has elected to go to the outside line. So he's going to start up on the outside as Colin Maniac in the 13 starts on the bottom line. Ed Palumbo will start in third in the 54. Sean Jacobs in the 24 will start on the outside, row 2. Ricky Emerson starts in row 3 inside. 27, Preston Hassel starts outside row 3. Little rubber down on the track here, so it's going to be a little slicker here on this restart. All right, so Lucas elected to go to the outside, so he's preferring that outside line here on this restart. Probably not a bad choice, but don't forget the 13 is always good on restarts. The 13, Colin Madiak, one of our Ohio drivers.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, back to green. Except for a good start right there. Looks like he clears that 13 car. 13's got a little bit of run, though, into turn 1. Bottleneck there just behind, so things get a little interesting here. Looking out of the back of Sinfer's machine. Looks like those guys have gotten it sorted out for the most part. Sean Jacobs, that 24, loses a position. He's now back behind the 27. Sean Jacobs now back to the 7th position. 7 of Preston Hassel has been fast here tonight as well. AMD Ryzen sponsored Ford Mustang just ahead, looking out of the front of Sean Jacobs' machine. Jim Willis here running in the 53 car, running in P8 right now. Very quiet on the radio for Jim Willis as usual. All business right now, so he's just trying to figure out what he has in that Black Rifle Company sponsor number 53. John Stanley continuing to work his way up through the field. He started in last here tonight in the 14th position. Now up to 9th in the 12 car. Spindola in the wall there, so got a little pass here. 29, Zach Muncasey trying to get around. 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. looking to try to make a pass, so Spindola up the track. He's made a little contact with the outside wall. Now he's trying to hang on here and hold on position. Muncasey is by Bardelli Jr. side by side with Givaldo Spindola. Spindola back up the track again. He makes some more contact with the wall. Jesus Iglesias sneaking through. So Spindola right now has a slick machine on him. Tough handling right now for the 68 car. 30 of Christian Wilson running behind him, trying to figure out whether he has an opportunity to make a pass here. We got a good battle here for P1. 13, Colin Madiak hanging right with that 21 car. 21 looking to make it 2 wins in a row. And this is Will Dunbar's pick to win the race here tonight. Colin Madiak has something to say about that, man. I'll tell you what, he is hanging tough here. See, Simfer gets a good run coming off the turn. Madiak has to get out of the throttle there a little bit, work that wheel. And Palumbo just behind in that 54 car. I don't know what we got going on here with this view. Seems like every time I come back to this mod, we've got changed the view. 54, Ed Palumbo running in P3, looking very solid here tonight. That mellow yellow sponsor machine. Ricky Emerson up to the 4th position. And that 5 car up the track there quite a bit. Paul Brown just behind him in P5. Emerson a little bit of a wiggle there coming off the turn. Back into that car coming around a little bit. Paul Brown in the 5th position. That 77 car. Emerson now looking on the bottom side here of Ed Palumbo, so good battle here between the 54 and the 5. Side-by-side battle. Ricky Emerson trying to pull off that pass, cannot do it. So he had that nose underneath the 54. 54 had the outside line and a little bit of the advantage at that point. 54 there now trying to close in on the 13 of Colin Madiak. Looking out of the front of Ricky Emerson's machine at that mellow yellow sponsor Camaro. Running in third, Ricky Emerson diving into the inside gear. Oh man, I tell you what, he was really hanging that thing out. Underneath the 54 car. Oh, there might be a little contact right there. 54 and the 5 getting after it. Here on lap 30. 54 holding on. These guys are going to use up their tires here if they keep racing that way. And we've got a good battle here for P1 as well. Take a look at this. Lucas Simpner still in P1 in that 21, but he's got Colin Madiak breathing down his neck right now. Colin Madiak in the second position in that 13 car. Ricky Emerson trying to get around that 54, and this is starting to tighten up here a little bit. Not only is Ed Palumbo closing in on the 13, the 5 right there with him, but also the 77 in this mix. It's starting to get a little close here. Ricky Emerson trying to make another, trying to hold on to position now as Paul Brown gets by. Paul Brown now moves up to P4, so we'll take a look at that pass. Take a look here as Paul Brown getting by the 5 car. That 5, I think he might have used up his stuff a little bit, trying to get around Ed Palumbo, diving in down to the inside, using up those tires. And now Paul Brown up to P4. Take a look at Jesus Iglesias here in that 2X machine, trying to bounce back from a lot of contact earlier with the wall, and he's now running in P12 in that 2X machine. Givaldo Spindola just behind him in the 68. Good battle here between the two of these guys. Givaldo Spindola looking on the inside line. He's going to make that pass. Iglesias up the track there a little bit. So Spindola taking over that spot. Out there's Claudio Bardelli Jr. and John Stanley here battling for position. Remember, Claudio had some pretty significant contact with the inside wall and the outside wall, for that matter, and trying to reclaim the 9th position. John Stanley now back to 10th as Claudio Bardelli Jr. makes that pass. Sean Jacobs here now working on Ricky Emerson. Sean Jacobs, oh, Ricky Emerson up in the outside wall right there. That car is sideways. Sean Jacobs making that pass. Ricky Emerson trying to claim that spot back, and I'll tell you, man, that's going to be a tough order. Is that car, you can tell he is really, really loose. That car is boogered up a little bit. Side by side here, the 24 hanging on. Look at this battle here, man. I'll tell you what, Paul Brown continuing to make some moves here. 77 and the 54 battling for position. That's 77 inches ahead of the 54. 54's got a good run here coming off the turn. This is for P3. Into 77 on the inside line, trying to hold on to that spot. So a great battle here between the 54 and the 77. 77 holding on to that position. Good clean racing right there between the 77 and the 54. Jesus Iglesias, the 2X machine, he's coming down pit lane here. So Jesus Iglesias giving up some positions to come down pit lane and maybe take some service on this machine. Sean Jacobs in this 3-way battle here now between the 54. Oh, we got a yellow flag here. Yellow flag, 54, 77, and the 24. These guys were racing for position. Here coming down pit lane, and he might have had a his second incident here. It does look like he's retired his machine. Zach McCasey up there in the outside wall. Oh, man, that is hard contact right there on that inside wall. Front end damage for his car, and that is the caution flag number 2, unfortunately, for the 29. Very uncharacteristic there, 29. He's really had a pretty darn good season, and very uncharacteristic for him. This is just a tough track for him, and he was very apologetic, very nice young man. 29, Zach McCasey having a tough night here and coming down pit lane and retiring his machine. But it really does say a lot about Zach's character, apologizing, owning up to the caution flags and apologizing for the caution flag. Tough break there for Zach McCasey tonight. He'll be back next week. There's no doubt about that. We'll take a look and see what's coming up next week at Dover International. Some high-banked 1-mile concrete oval, the Monster Mile. 125 laps there on May the 14th. And then next week after that, we got a flat track headed your way, New Hampshire Motor Speedway on May the 21st. Charlotte coming up on May the 28th, and then Las Vegas. So we got some interesting tracks headed your way on the back half of this season. So Dover up next, and that is a tire muncher as well, the Monster Mile. 125 laps coming up next Friday. Well, we got some more stock car action headed your way this weekend. I'll be out there racing in the Saturday Night Thunder at Kentucky Speedway, 133 laps. I love Kentucky. Very fun track, and it's going to be a great one, man. You want to come out and race with the broadcaster, come on out. So there's the Discord address there at the bottom of the screen. It's race number 3 in that second season of 2021. 133 laps from a great speedway there at Kentucky Speedway in the Saturday Night Thunder Cup Series. Racing starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd be hard-pressed to see anybody stay out and not pit in some of these scenarios here. This thing is so tough on tires. Tires are so important here that you're going to see guys, I think, anytime there's a caution flag, come down pit lane. So we're getting some pit stops as you see Lucas Sinfiner in his pit box. Looks like 27 has to back up and get his car pitted. So he's going to be a little slow on pit lane. Take a look at the 27 here, Preston Hassel, that AMD sponsor machine, taking a little bit of time here on pit lane. He's lost a ton of positions. Take a look at Ed Palumbo here coming off pit lane, and there might have been some contact right there. No, there wasn't. Three-way battle. Look at that. Ed Palumbo going to win that run off pit lane there with the 13. That was a good battle there between the two of those guys. I feel like I'm still getting bullied here on chat session. I don't know. Been teaching for 22 years. I certainly recognize bullying. Good thing Will D is writing his, or finishing up his project this weekend, because it would be on like Donkey Kong. And he'll have to hope that I'll forget about those comments next week when he is back on a Saturday night. Good to see Will in here taking a little time out to join us in the chat session since he can't be out on track. Don't forget to head over to highoctaneracing.net for schedules and point standings. Also, current times on the servers if you're interested in finding out who's running what as you're leading up to the race in the weekend. You can definitely find it here on highoctaneracing.net. Good way to contact me. Quick link over to TurnLeftTV, of course, and information on all of the series that we are running here at High Octane Racing League. Again, we'll take a look at the season standings coming into tonight, and Zach and Casey going to take a little bit of hit here in the standings, having that tough finish. We do have a drop two race format here, so the points don't really add up to what the standings points are. So they have dropped the two lowest races. So Paul Brown is 126 points there in first. Lucas Simpler second. Arthur Vieta third. Colin Madiak fourth, Todd Robillard fifth. You see Sean Jacobs, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Jim Willis, Ed Palumbo, and Zach Casey rounding out the top 10. So we're getting a one to go. And Palumbo starts on the inside line. So he got off pit road fast here. Lucas Simpler loses a couple positions on pit road. We'll start in P3 inside row 2. Don't forget about the 24 of Sean Jacobs up on the outside there of row 2. Colin Madiak has been fast. Now I'll tell you what, man, 13 and the 54, we know they have had some shenanigans before. So keep your eye on that little battle right there, P1, P2. Neither one of those guys are going to give an inch. 42 laps in, we are approaching halfway, and we're getting ready to go back green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, here we go. Man, I was a little bit behind the scenes there, wasn't it? Here we go, back to green. And Palumbo there pushing it hard there in the turn, holding off Madiak. They're side by side there behind, 24 and the 13 side by side. 24, Sean Jacobs. He's going to try to gain a position here. Looks like he's going to get a spot. Lucas Simpler on the inside line here. He's having trouble holding on to this car. Now drops back to the 4th position. So starting back in traffic here. He may go back to that old standby there of saving tires. He's thinking there's going to be a longer run. He's up on the outside line. Paul Brown not able to sneak by. Paul Brown now has Ricky Emerson to deal with. Looking out of the back of Lucas Simpler's machine. You see that battle there. Paul Brown and Ricky Emerson almost get into one another. See Jim Willis in this mix now too. Jim Willis now running in the 7th position back there. So this guy's somewhat got it sorted out here. Preston Hassel trying to get some spots back. He's getting by John Stanley down to the low line. Preston Hassel going to try to get 2. Side by side, Preston Hassel, Jim Willis. Hassel down on the inside line, Jim Willis up on the outside line. And these guys are side by side looking out of the front of John Stanley's machine. You see that 53 car just ahead, and Preston Hassel, the 27, is going to pull out that position. What a heck of a battle there. Great racing right there. Lucas Simpler, Paul Brown. Oh, Ricky Emerson hard into the wall. Ricky Emerson making hard contact with the wall. And he's coming across the track. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened to Ricky Emerson, but it is still transpiring for him. Ricky Emerson. And he hit the outside wall, came across the track, hit the inside wall. That snapped that car around up into traffic. Ricky Emerson in the 5. Hard contact. Wow. Well, there goes the guy that I was picking to win this race. So Ed Palumbo will come around here and take the caution flag. Man, that was a hard lick for Ricky Emerson. Ricky Emerson had already hit the wall, outside wall, and then came down there, hit that inside wall right there, and comes back across the track right there. And, oh, catches the 91. Oh, my heavens, man. The 90 right into the side of the 5 car. Had nowhere to go. Look at this. You see the Ricky Emerson spinning right up there. He gets into the outside wall. That thing just snapped around on him. Then he comes across the track. Right here, he comes across, and he's going to end up getting into that wall. I see that smacking that wall there. Well, Bardelli Jr. had nowhere to go. He gets caught up in this. And then Christian Wilson, just hard contact. You see what happened to Bardelli Jr. Watch this. He thinks he's got this clear, baby. And then 5 comes across the track. And Bardelli Jr. spinning into the wall right there. He just got taken out. Christian Wilson, he was sort of a victim of circumstance too. Look at this. He had nowhere to go. You see that 5 right there spinning in front of him, and then there was hard contact there for him. Well, he's got a ton of damage too. Yeah, it just looked like Ricky, and the car just, he smacks the wall right there, and that kind of catches that car. And then you see right there, he loses the back end. He's trying to hold on to that, maybe a little bit overcorrecting, and then just snaps around straight into the outside wall, lifts the front end of that car off the ground, and then he comes back across the track and smacks that inside wall, and then barely catches the 91, but the 91, you see the 68 getting into the wall as well. Man. So we got some guys coming down pit lane. That was interesting, to say the least here. The 54 on pit lane. Now, is he going to lose some spots on pit lane? That's the question. Lucas Simfer pitting it just ahead of him. Ed Palumbo getting that car out here pretty quickly. Now, he might have just changed 2 tires here. 13 might have had the same thing in mind as those guys come off pit lane. Ed Palumbo holding on to that spot. John Stanley gaining some spots on pit road. Christian Wilson, hard contact there for him. Definitely needing to get that car serviced.
Will be open this time.
I think Christian Wilson might be coming down pit lane this time. We'll have to see. Don't forget EliteHostingUSA.com is your place for rFactor 2 servers. 3 self-managed server packages available. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Jesus Iglesias out right now, and kind of wonder if this 2X machine is going to be coming down pit lane. He might be doing that same strategy. Ricky Emerson back on pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Now he's coming back off pit lane. So he's finished up his service. He's had a pretty eventful night. He had some hard contact earlier this evening. Got that repaired, and then victim of circumstance there, got kind of clipped in the back end and spun that car around. So we'll see how that affects the 91 car here at Claudio Bardelli Jr. Colin Madiak here running in the second position. Paul Brown third. John Stanley up to the fourth position. Remember, he started in P14.
It'll be one to go this time, bud.
Jim Willis fifth. Sean Jacobs sixth. So Ed Palumbo taking the inside line again. Interesting strategy there. Remember that Luca, when he was starting up front, liked the outside line. So a preference for Ed Palumbo to be down on the inside line. 13, Colin Madiak. Did not race him real hard on that last restart. So we'll have to see what the 13 car here does with the 54 this time by. He's going to race him a little bit harder here as we approach halfway. 77 of Paul Brown will start in the third position. He's worked his way up to P3. John Stanley, as we mentioned, started in P14, now running in the fourth position. Looks like Ricky Emerson has decided to retire his machine. Two cars out of the race. The lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to go green flag at this time. 54 will lead the field here to take the green flag. Madiak up on the outside line, looking like he wants to put a little pressure here on the 54 car. Here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, back to green. Good jump for the 13 car this time. Madiak up on the outside line, pressuring that inside number 54. Oh, man, I tell you what, he must have thought the 54 was going to get into him a little bit, and he backs off. Now 77 takes over that position. 77 now in P2. Sean Jacobs and the 53 and the 27 here all racing for position. 53 here dropping back a little bit as he's down on the inside line. He's going to give up a couple spots as the 27 and the 21 get by. So Jim Willis here holding on. He's lost a couple positions. Now the 53 car running in eighth. Webb Palumbo in the 54 is in P1. 77 of Paul Brown running in P2. Colin Madiak third. John Stanley running in the fourth position. Sean Jacobs up to P5. So you got three different lines entering that turn there. Paul Brown has a heck of a run there coming off the turn. Looking out of the back of Ed Palumbo's machine. Paul Brown backing off here a little bit. Playing a little defense with the 13 car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. getting around the 68. Givaldo Spindola picking up P9. Jesus Iglesias trying to follow him through. Spindola up the track there a little bit, using that outside line. Jesus Iglesias using the inside line here, putting a little pressure on Spindola. Iglesias here now picking up a spot. Givaldo Spindola. Let that 2X machine go. Jesus Iglesias now up to the 10th position. Givaldo Spindola back to 11th. 54, Ed Palumbo. Opening up a little bit of a gap there. John Stanley got a good battle here on his hands at 27 if Preston Hassel picking up that spot. Sean Jacobs had gotten around. John Stanley working that outside line here. He likes this track, I think. He is looking a little racy. 12 and the 27. Paul Brown here challenging for the race lead on the 77 car and the 54, battling for position. The 77, Paul Brown, the inside line, taking over P1. So a new race leader here is the 77 of Paul Brown. 54, Ed Palumbo back to second. Colin Matiak is in third. Christian Wilson on the inside line. He's looking to make a pass here on Givaldo Spindola. Spindola up the track. Oh, contact. Givaldo back into the wall. So Givaldo came off the wall, got into the 30 of Christian Wilson. Now Spindola here off the pace a little bit.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We got a yellow flag here. So we have a yellow flag. Jesus Iglesias having some trouble here in the 2X machine. Spindola might have gotten caught up in this as well as a consequence. Take a look here, the 2X kind of out there by himself. He comes off the turn. Look at that. He's climbing up the track. He's going to get into this outside wall. And then it just upsets the balance of that car. And then into the inside wall. And Spindola trying to get through here. And I think he's going to be okay. And he might end up having some trouble. Looks like there, Spindola has some trouble somehow, some way. So Iglesias, again, he just chasing his car up the track. You see, not a good line here to exit the turn, and gets into the inside wall. And then Givaldo Spindola is going to get through, but he smacks the wall, comes across the track and smacks that inside wall head on for the 68 car. He already had some damage there, so that car was kind of boogered up. He and Christian Wilson getting together a little bit. So tough break there for the 2X and the 68. Paul Brown in the 77 is our race leader. He gotten around the 54. Colin Matiak is in third. Sean Jacobs fourth. Preston Hassel up to the 5th position. Well, don't forget, coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, some short track action at Iowa Speedway. Race number 4, 228 laps. And that great short track in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeftTV. Flag to flag coverage in the IndyCar Series. Paul Brown is pitting here. So these guys coming down pit lane. So on board here with Ed Palumbo in the 54. Finishing up his pit stop. Getting out ahead of the field. Paul Brown indicating that he might have gotten caught speeding. Jomar Peixoto in here joining us in the chat session. Boa noche, Jomar. He was in here practicing earlier. I expected him to be out here racing. Jomar rooting on the Brazilian drivers here tonight.
Pit road will be open this time.
We'll take a look at that IndyCar schedule. We've got, again, we have Iowa coming up tomorrow, and then Pocono next week. The tricky triangle in the IndyCar series. A lot of guys were really requesting this track, so we stuck that in the middle of the schedule. Then we got Gateway, great egg-shaped oval on May the 22nd. Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Memorial Day weekend, the weekend of the Indianapolis 500. How appropriate it would be that do that IndyCar series and have that track on that weekend. Phoenix Raceway coming up on June the 5th. Kansas cookie cutter there, and then Richmond, the short track. The IndyCars used to run there back in the day, so we're going to finish out the season and crown the champion at Richmond on June the 19th. So Jomar was saying his internet is too slow to run. And I got a question for you, Jomar. I know I've wondered this. Are you streaming from your cockpit when you run? Are you actually streaming to the web as well? Or are you just trying to race? Or so are you streaming while you're racing?
It'll be one to go this time, bud.
So give me a shout out there on Discord. Contact me on Discord. We might be able to help you with helping speed up or improve your connection. So we definitely miss you out on the track, that's for sure. And Palumbo's taking the inside line, Colin Madiak on the outside line. And so we've seen those restarts, how those typically work out. It's like that inside line, at least for the most part, has been the place to be on the restarts. Colin Madiak will give it a good shot there, no doubt, on the outside line. Sean Jacobs moved up to the third position as Jim Willis is in fourth in the 53 car. How about that? Preston Hassel in fifth. Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start in the sixth position. So the pace car is off. Here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, back to green. Did good green, and Colin Madiak got a heck of a jump that time. He was ready. Colin Madiak was ready for that restart. Can he clear this 54 car? It is tight. 54 not going to cut him any slack. 13 going to race that 54 hard. 54 goes back to the front. As Colin Madiak here looking to try to get around the 54 car. Not able to do it. Good battle here. Jim Willis and the 27 of Preston Hassel. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in this mix too. Looking out of the back of Jim Willis' machine. Look at that. Preston Hassel and Claudio Bardelli Jr. here racing for position. Lucas Simpner in this mix. Preston Hassel holding on to that spot in 5th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in 6th. We can look at Bardelli Jr. here in the 91 car. He's done a good job of getting that car back up here in the hunt, running in P6. Up the track there a little bit. Paul Brown had to start at the tail end of the line for speeding on pit lane under the yellow. And Palumbo has a whole lot of that 13 right there on the back end of his machine. Paul Brown getting around the 30 car. Christian Wilson on the inside line here. This 77 car making that pass on the 30. 30 giving him a lot of room. I've seen so much improvement out of Christian Wilson. I'll tell you what, man. Doesn't say a lot on the radio, in the chat session, just no nonsense, and he has really shown a heck of a lot of improvement. This 30 car of Christian Wilson running in P9 right now, and again, a lot of improvement that I've seen since he's come out. I mean, he's really new to sim racing, and really has shown a heck of a lot of talent here and improvement in that those driving skills. So kudos to the 30 car, and one of the nicest guys out there on the track, that's for sure. But once he starts getting even more comfortable with this sim and how some of these tracks drive, you better watch out. And Palumbo still holding on to that lead there with the 54. Colin Madiak in the 13. These guys kind of running away from the rest of the field. They got about a little over a second lead on the rest of the field. Sean Jacobs in P3 in that 24 car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. here looking to make some moves. Oh, Preston Hassel making contact with the wall as Bardelli Jr. getting by. Hassel making some contact. Lucas Simpsoner trying to get by, but he can't get through. We'll take a look at this again. Watch this. Preston Hassel making some contact with the outside wall. More contact. Bardelli Jr., Johnny on the spot there, gets by. Good heads-up move for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Picking up a spot now up to up to the 5th position as Preston Hassel hanging on to 6th. So Hassel had climbed up the track, got into the outside wall, and has some damage on the right side of that car here, trying to collect his thoughts right now. He's doing a good job there holding on to P6. Take a look at Lucas Simpsoner here in the 21 car. He's running in P7 right now. Remember, he is our pole setter. Got himself a little bit behind the 8-ball here on some pit stops, and now running in the 7th position here on lap 72. He might be on tire save strategy, so if this thing goes green, stays green, he might be in good position here. Preston Hassel here trying to gain that spot back, looking out of the front of his machine at Claudio Bardelli Jr. You watch Preston Hassel here at the wheel. He's looking to make a pass here on Bardelli Jr. Jim Willis in this mix too. Jim Willis right now running in P4, but he's got a whole heck of a, he's got a ton of cars behind him. He is in a hornet's nest right now. He's up the track there just a little bit as the 27 get by. So Jim Willis now falling back to P6, and now he's going to lose another position, now back to 7th. Jim Willis in 7th. Lucas Simpler getting by, taking over the 7th positions. Jim Willis now have fallen back into P8, so he's having a tough way to go here. He's lost a couple positions. Not sure what's going on with Jim Willis's machine. So watch here as go back here and watch Jim Willis's machine here as see if we can't get a replay of that. No, that's not good. There we go. We love this game. See the 91 there making a pass, and then that's going to open the floodgates. See the 91 getting around the 53. 53 there climbing up the track. Almost gets into the wall. 27 gets by, and the also Paul Brown getting by. So that 53, Jim Willis, a tough way to go there, trying to hang on to this thing. Lucas Simpler and Paul Brown. My God, what's going on here? See if we can't. Boy, they don't want to do that. Does it? Didn't want to give me the replay. We can. Figure that out. That was a little strange. 13, Colin Matiak has gotten around Ed Palumbo. And we'll see if we can't get to that replay. See, that's lovely. Here we go. Zeb Palumbo making that pass. 24, Sean Jacobs trying to get through. Excuse me, the 13, Matiak making a pass on the 54. Now that 13, Colin Matiak here running away a little bit, so he is starting to show some muscle here on lap 80. And Palumbo, Sean Jacobs here battling it out for P2. And Palumbo in the 54 holding on here with 30 laps to go on P2. Matiak here might be running up on some lap traffic. Givaldo Spindola just ahead. So Matiak here going to have to navigate a little bit of lap traffic here. So Colin Matiak going to the inside line. Spindola up on the outside line. He's in the wall. This is a little bit of worrisome right now for the 54 and the 24 as they're trying to get by. Spindola gives him a lot of room. Look at this 24, Sean Jacobs running in the third position. He's on the inside. Man, you get that car squirrely right there. That car is squirrely as he's trying to get around the 54. Good, hard battle here. These guys had a race the other night, and I think there might have been a little bit of fisticuffs between the two of these guys. So 24 and the 54, these guys have been racing together for years, but they have a rivalry. Look at that, man, 24 and trying to make a pass on the outside line. The 54, Ed Palumbo on the inside line. 24 might be on a little bit better tires here. The 54 has to tuck in the third position as Sean Jacobs moves up to P2. Preston Hassel here trying to make some moves. Oh, Lucas Simpler in the outside wall. Lucas Simpler making contact is not Bardelli Jr. and the 27. Preston Hassel gets by Lucas Simpler. Now back to the 7th position, so he's made some contact with the outside wall. 21, Lucas Simpler. Now back to P7. Spindola up the track there. So Matiak's lead has diminished as the 24 is starting to reel him in a little bit. Take a look at that battle there. Just a little under 0.7 of a second. And Sean Jacobs is closing in on Colin Matiak. What a big win this would be. This would be a huge win for the 24. Colin Matiak going to be tough to beat. Got that car up front. He's had it up front all night long, but now leading. Sean Jacobs closing in. Now down to under 0.6 of a second between the two of those guys here on lap 86. We're starting to wind down the laps here. Paul Brown here in the 77 car looking to make a pass here on the 54. Paul Brown up to P3. Ed Palumbo back to 4th. So good battle there between the 77 and the 54. 54, I think he may have done a 2-tire stop. So it's starting to hurt him a little bit. Wonder here if Colin Matiak can hold on, because Sean Jacobs is there. Now under 0.4 of a second. Closing in on the 13 car. Looking out of the back of Colin Matiak's machine. He is our race leader. Sean Jacobs in that 24. Touching the apron there a little bit, scrubbing off speed. Matiak, it opens up a little bit of a gap now. Lucas Simpner here trying to bounce back after making contact with the wall. He's up on the outside line here trying to get around the 54 car. Simpner in the 21. Oh, Simpner, I don't know what happened right there, but that car got loose on him, and he hits the inside wall, gives up a couple positions. What in the world happened to the 21 car? The 21 off the pace here a little bit. That car might be just absolute junk right now. Watch this, man. He's going to get by the 54 here just a little bit, and then right here makes contact with the wall, and then comes across the track right there. We got pit stops here underway under green. Colin Matiak on pit lane. Ed Palumbo on pit lane. Take a look at Colin Matiak coming back out off pit lane. 21, Lucas Simpner indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time. So he's getting some laps led here. Green flag pit stops here at Darlington. Simpner, he's probably going to have some damage that he's going to have to get repaired. That thing is sideways here, coming around. Oh, man, does he end up making it in? He does. My heavens, did you see that? Lucas Simpner hanging it out, making a pit stop here. Oh, my heavens. That car was absolutely wrecked. We got a yellow flag. This is the worst thing that can happen to Lucas Simpner right now. Simpner on pit lane. He's the race leader, but he is on pit lane. We got a yellow flag. And what I say, I've said this time and time and time again, I like to pit late. And this is exactly why. Colin Matiak, the leader. Sean Jacobs seconds. Paul Brown third. Preston Hassel 4th. Lucas Simpner now 5th as he comes off pit lane. We'll see what happened here. So Givaldo Spindola a little bit off the pace. And the 54 gets into the back of him. Those guys go over the pit wall onto pit lane. We'll take a look at this again. So Spindola is in the inside here, and the Spindola kind of comes up the track there just a little bit, but man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. So contact right there. Yeah, Palumbo all tore up here. We'll take a look and see. As he really caught up to 68 in a hurry. We'll take a look at this again one more time here as the 54 has a head of steam. 68 a little bit off pace right there. 54 looks like he wants to go to the outside, doesn't quite get up to where he thinks he needs to be, and he ends up making contact with the back of that 68 car, and those guys fly over the wall on the pit lane. So the 13 of Colin Maniac is the leader. Sean Jacobs in second, Paul Brown third, Preston Hassel is fourth. Simpner was on pit lane. Remember that when this caution flag came out, he's coming back down pit lane probably to fix some damage there. And Palumbo in the 54 has some pretty significant damage. He's going to have to get repaired. Wow. So, like I said, and I've said this 100 times, is that I like to pit late for this very reason, especially at a track like this where it is challenging to get on pit lane. You know, maybe I should start doing some statistics, right, and just seeing what the frequency of caution flags are that come out during a green flag sequence of pit stops. It happens a lot. Guys trying to make a transition down onto the apron and under race conditions, and you know, it's not something you know you're really doing a lot. So it's easy to make a mistake. Now in this case, we see somebody maybe a little bit off the pace. Somebody had been down pit lane. There was some contact, and you had an incident. Hard to make that determination on really, who would take that one. Well, Colin Maniac in a pretty good position here right now. He is the leader. Sean Jacobs is in second. Paul Brown in third. Preston Hassel fourth. John Stanley is in fifth. Don't forget, next week we have Darlington International. 125 laps there from a great short track. The Monster Mile, high bank concrete oval, the tire muncher, the Monster Mile, coming up on May the 14th, right here on TurnLeftTV. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. 228 laps from that great short track. Race number 4 of the season, and it will be a great one. Last time we had the IndyCar Series, we ran this track, and it was a lot of fun. One of the best races of the season, so you don't want to miss it. It's going to be live right here on TurnLeftTV, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, Iowa Speedway in the IndyCar Series.
It'll be 1 to go this time, bud.
All right, we're getting to 1 to go as Colin Madiak is the leader, and Sean Jacobs going to start outside in P2, outside row 1. 77, Paul Brown in 3rd. 27, Preston Hassel starts in the 4th position. John Stanley will start 5th. So it'll be interesting, man. The 24 was clearly faster than the 13, but they may have been on a little bit different tire strategy here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works out here with the 24 and the 13. 13 is elected to go down to the bottom line here for the restart. 97 laps in, so we're closing it out here, man. This could be the dash to the finish. All right, the pace car is off. Here we go. Start lap 98. Madiak in the 13. Leading the field. Here we go, back to green. Madiak, good jump there. Sean Jacobs on the outside line, giving him a little bit of a run here. Is he going to have the room he needs? Sean Jacobs inside there, pressure in that right rear quarter panel of the 13. He tucks in. Madiak, the leader. Sean Jacobs looking on the inside line. Cannot pull off that pass. He's going to have to play a little defense as Paul Brown in the 77 is there. Oh, a little bit of help here. The 77 and the 24 working on the high line. Sean Jacobs on the outside line. Can he make this pass on the 13 car? 13 on the inside. Sean Jacobs on the outside line. They're side by side. This is for the race lead. Sean Jacobs in the front here, just a little bit, about half a car length. Madiak here running him pretty hard here, so Sean Jacobs pinching him down a little bit. Side by side, the 13 and the 24 down the front stretch, across the start-finish line. Sean Jacobs led that lap. Does not have that. Oh, now he has him cleared. So Sean Jacobs in the 24 to the race front. Madiak back in 2nd. Paul Brown in 3rd. Preston Hassel in the 4th position. John Stanley in 5th. John Stanley and the 91 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. having a good battle here. 54, Jim Willis also having a good battle with Ed Palumbo in the 53 and the 54 having a good battle here. Bardelli Jr. here trying to get around. Oh, there's contact right there. Contact between the 91 and the 12. '91 and the 12, a little contact. It might have been the 54 and the 91. We'll have to take a look. A little bit of a situation where it's all take and no give right now. And, you know, you got a slick track too, so take a look and see what happened here. 24 of Sean Jacobs. And Western Auto Sponsor Machine has claimed the lead. See what happened here as Bardelli Jr. Bardelli Jr. there gets a little squirrely, and he comes across the nose of the 54 and then in the wall. Right there, see the 53 on the outside. Just a little bit earlier here as the 54 up on the outside line. Now Bardelli Jr. checks up right there, and that back into that car might have got a little bit squirrely, but he comes across the track right there, and the 54 is in that spot and up on the outside wall. Go on board here with the 54 cars. See those guys get around the 53, so we're on board here with Ed Palumbo. Ed Palumbo goes up to the high line right here. And the 91, you watch him, he's going to check up right there. Ed Palumbo goes up to the high line and then, back into that, the 91 came across the nose of the 54. What Jim Willis saw here right there, as you see, he comes across the 54's nose. See if we can't jump on board here with Jim Willis and take a little bit longer view of this. You see the 54 up on the outside line right there, and then Bardelli Jr. comes across, probably didn't expect that 54 to be there, and then contact. So we're back here live as under caution. We got a couple of guys coming down pit lane. John Stanley on pit lane. Lucas Simpner on pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Saturday Night Thunder headed your way tomorrow. Kentucky Speedway. Very fun track in the Cup Series. It's race number 3 of the season. 133 laps, and a great track there in the Cup Series. The Saturday Night Thunder coming your way tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to race at High Octane Racing League, there's the Discord address there at the bottom of the banner. More than welcome to join us. It should be a great one, man. Kentucky's always a fun track. A lot of room to race there. Flat 1.5 mile track. And open setup to 1X tires, 1X fuel, 60% damage setting. So the Saturday Night Thunder Cup Series headed your way tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Pit road will be open this time.
Pit road is open. I don't see any takers right now on this, so Sinford coming down pit lane. Interesting little late race pit stop here for him. His 21 car may be thinking those fresh tires are going to serve him well here late in this run. So those guys look like the rest of them kind of staying out here and not taking tires. I want to say thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on the TurnLeftTV channel. Man, this has gotten a little bit messy here, but all in all, pretty fun race to watch. We got a great one coming up next week with Dover. That's going to be an interesting race. Going to be a lot of side-by-side racing there, a lot of tire strategy, of course, at that track. And the Monster Mile, always a fun track. So that's coming up next week. here in the on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's an exciting race. And don't forget, we got a busy weekend here ahead with the IndyCar Series and then the Saturday Night Thunder coming up tomorrow night. So very fun weekend of racing. Some very fun tracks as well. So excited to see what's in store. The Buschwackers Series tonight still needs to be settled. Sean Jacobs is the leader. Colin Madiak is in second. So this is going to be interesting here because Sean Jacobs started in the second position on that last restart. Madiak was our race leader, and a little pass there for the lead. So we'll see if the 24 car can hold off this 13. You see the 24 has elected to go to the outside line here. Interesting. Interesting. So Madiak has been pretty good on restarts. Sean Jacobs good as well. He's gotten this car up to the front, so he's shown here late in this race that he is the car to beat. Madiak in the 13. If anybody's going to figure it out, it's going to be that 13 car. 77, Paul Brown starts in the third position. 27, Preston Hassel will start fourth here on lap 106. So no giving here, boys. All take, that's for sure. Madiak there warming up the tires a little bit. 54 starts in the fifth position. 53, Jim Willis starts in sixth. Simpner has pitted, and that's going to put him way back in the line here. He might not have enough room here to get that car back to the front. He's going to be on fresh tires here, but I don't think that's going to be enough. All right, here we go. Jacobs the leader.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Well, Jacobs are lagging back a little bit. Interesting. Madiak gets around. Paul Brown on the outside line here. This is going to get interesting here. 13 and the 77. 54 in this mix too. 54, he's wanting to get to the front. Get a race win here. 24, Sean Jacobs, he wants to get back to the front. These guys racing like it's the last lap, and it almost is for these guys. So Madiak, he wants to see that racing behind him, but 54, the 54 gets into the 13 car and spins him. Oh boy. So, wow. 71 of Paul Brown, now the leader. So watch here as Madiak coming around the turn, and Ed Palumbo in that 54. Those guys get into one another right there. The 13 coming around. Ed Palumbo here in the 54 car. Gets into the back of the 13. See what happened here on this restart. So I'm not sure that outside line didn't get going there. Really interesting. But it got ugly after this. So there was contact between the 54 and the 77, and that 54 gets up into the 13 and spins him. And it makes contact with the wall.
Pit road will be open this time. Release that car.
.54 coming down pit lane, and that will give Paul Brown the race lead. We got a green-white checker here. So green-white checker, this thing's gotten messy. I had a feeling with that late race pit stop, this was going to be ugly. So Paul Brown is 77, the race leader. 24, Sean Jacobs in second. Preston Hassel in third. 2X of Jesus Iglesias has that car in the fourth position. Good there run for him so far. So he benefited by some of these guys driving a little aggressively and getting themselves in a little bit of a pickle, so to speak.
Pit road will be open this time.
So Sean Jacobs in the 24 will start in the second position. Preston Hassel third. Jesus Iglesias starts in the fourth position. Lucas Sinfiner making a late race pit stop again, taking some more tires here. I personally would have stayed out because you've gained all those positions. You're on fresher tires than some of these other drivers. So why come back down pit lane, take more fresh tires unless you've flat spotted those that set that you have? I would stay out. You've gained a bunch of positions. You started in the back on that last green flag. You got a green-white checker now, and you have a chance of really gaining a lot of spots. You're getting yourself maybe certainly a really good chance of a top 5 finish. Wow, this has gotten a little crazy, huh? This is Darlington. Not only the Darlington stripe here tonight, but going to be some Darlington hurt feelings tonight. I'm out of coffee. My God, man. I need a beer. Last little swig of coffee there. The green screen jacking up there a little bit, but man, this thing has been interesting to say the least here in the last few laps. Unfortunately, some of these guys seem like they've forgotten how to drive. I'll be honest with you. A little heavy on the aggressiveness, not enough patience and kindness. 77 is the leader, and he's going to start on the outside line. I think he feels like that outside line is going to be the better of the two. Sean Jacobs has been fast. He's on the inside line of the 24 car now. These guys on a little bit older tires here now, so they've had a couple laps on these tires. So got to watch the spinning the tires on the starts. 2X of Jesus Iglesias up on the outside line will start in the 4th position. Preston Hassel will start in 3rd. John Stanley starts in the 5th position. Jim Willis starts in 6th.
Green flag, go, go.
All right, here we go. Back to green as Paul Brown going to try to hold off that 24 car. 24 has a good run here. Paul Brown on the outside line. It seems like he needs a couple laps here to get that car going. John Stanley coming around, and we're going to end it now. As the 24 takes that spot, and he's going to come away with the race victory here. So the 24 of Sean Jacobs is going to come away with the race win. Maybe we got to do another green white checker. I didn't think so. I think we're going to end up finishing this bad boy. I guess we'll see. Yeah, it does look like we're going to end up finishing it. So Sean Jacobs is going to come away with the win here. So congratulations to Sean Jacobs. It looked like John Stanley had just come around here. Right there, he touched the apron, came up the track, got into Iglesias. And then 53, Jim Willis hits him. Well, Christian Wilson comes around. So John Stanley got a little bit down onto that apron there and came around. And that is all she wrote. Sean Jacobs. Will take the race win. So big win for the 24 crew. So 24, Sean Jacobs doing that burnout. Beating the fenders off that thing. So congratulations to him. We will take a look at the results. Sean Jacobs finishes in P1. Paul Brown, a second place finish. Preston Hassel, good run there for him, finishes in 3rd. Jesus Iglesias, how about that, man? Jesus finishes in the 4th position. Claudio Bardelli Jr. 5th. Jim Willis finishes in 6th. John Stanley finishes 7th. Givaldo Spendola finishes in the 8th position. Colin Madiak 9th. Ed Palumbo finishes in the 10th position. Lucas Simpner finishes in 11th. Christian Wilson 12th. Ricky Emerson finishes in 13th. Zach Munkasey finishes in the 14th position. And I'll tell you what, Zach, I know you're probably disappointed in that 14th place finish, but I would say consider yourself lucky that you didn't have to endure the awfulness that was the back half of this race. So consider it a blessing in disguise. So congratulations to Sean Jacobs on coming away with the race win. A win at Darlington, Sean. Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you. But I owe a lot to Paul there at the end because I hit that turn 1 real low and then I snapped up, and if he would have probably kept on the gas, he probably took me out and took all of us out. So I really appreciate him kind of giving me that bottom.
Well, it looked like late in the race, or the back half of the race, man, that car really, was underneath you pretty well. You had a really strong run, and you made a lot of great passes and got to the front. And man, the 24 just looked really strong there at the end.
Yeah, the car seemed like it was better on the long runs where I was trying to conserve my tires, and it seemed like it really paid off as, we had the green flag out for a long time. And that's what I was kind of worried with the fast restarts with the green-white checker and that. I didn't know if, with the tires the way they were, if it was going to be able to hold or not.
What's the assessment from your perspective about this race? It seemed like that first half of the race was pretty darn clean. A lot of, some good green flag run. We got a little bit messy there late in the race.
Yeah, that was kind of my whole strategy, which is kind of fall in line and take it easy the first half of the race and conserve my tires and just see, how things would end up, and hopefully I'd be there at the end.
Well, next week is the Monster Mile, Dover. Very hard on tires, but I have a feeling that you may be a new fan of this track, because you seem like you're not just a super speedway guy, but now it's hard to say, man, who's going to show up at some of these tracks that you don't normally feel like you are very good at. But I don't know, man. I'm going to say that Dover might be in your wheelhouse now.
I don't really know on that one. It just seems like Dover is going to be, depending on how many drivers, it's going to be tight. And like I said, you can be cruising along, and then all of a sudden, whatever turn, you can be in the wall. So I guess I should say, hopefully you have skill and luck at the same time.
And it seems like that outside line works a little bit at Dover, and you seem to like that outside line now.
Yeah, it seemed like here I was able to, ride that wall and think get real close to it, and it seemed like I was going faster on the outside. And that's kind of why I actually chose that outside line for the next to the last restart.
Well, congratulations and good luck at Dover. Great win here tonight at Darlington. Very tough track and definitely one to remember.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Sean Jacobs coming away with the victory here at Darlington. Again, very tough track, man. It looked like it was a pretty darn good race there about halfway through, and then, up to halfway through. And then after that, it got a little messy there. Some guys got a little aggressive, a little chippy, and ended up kind of boogering up a very fun race, I think, from my perspective anyway. But look, not to take anything away from Sean Jacobs. He worked his way through traffic, got that car up front when he needed to, and kept that car clean, and came away with the race victory. So congratulations for the 24 crew, that Western Auto sponsored machine, back in victory lane. Not just a super speedway guy anymore, so he is starting to put some wins together at some of these tracks where, you wouldn't really have considered him in the hunt. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. 228 laps, some high speed, great track, great short track here, and a great track for IndyCars. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. Don't forget, Kentucky Speedway headed your way tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Saturday Night Thunder. The Cup Series at Kentucky, 133 laps, race number 3 of the season, and it should be a fun one. Very fun track, a lot of room to race here, flat mile and a half, and a fantastic track. Headed your way tomorrow in the Cup Series, High Octane Racing League, Saturday Night Thunder. Well, the schedule coming up here in the Buschwackers Series will be at Dover next week, 125 laps on that monster mile, the high-banked concrete oval. And following that, we get that flat track, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway headed your way. Charlotte, and then Las Vegas, a couple mile-and-a-half tracks. Actually, Charlotte a little bit shorter than a mile-and-a-half, but 2 great tracks there coming up to finish out the season. Congratulations to Sean Jacobs in the 24 for winning this race here tonight at Darlington. And thanks so much for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. That's going to do it for us tonight. And I think I am out of here.